Are we good?
Yeah, I just need to move my screen so we can see. Should be recording. Okay, this seminar is going to cover reopening of phase 1 and 2 of the pandemic. The materials and discussions are tailored to an audience of retail, restaurant, hospitality owners, but as Mark was saying earlier, we can all learn from each other, I think, during this. The material focuses on safety, sales, marketing, community best practices, and everyday operations during this challenging time. What we'd like to do is go around the room, or who's in here, and just kind of introduce yourself and what business or what department you're in. So I can start. I'm Elizabeth Ripley. I'm with Economic Development for Gloucester County. I'm the coordinator. So that's
How long?
How long? Oh, since January.
Oh, okay.
For lots of years. Yeah, this is kind of new to me, but it really threw me in. You know, really learned a lot.
I'll bet you have.
And Sherry's fantastic. So, you want to go?
How about you, Gloria?
Okay. Can you hear me okay on these?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. My name's Gloria Williams, and it is always wonderful to see you, Mark. I just always enjoy and learn so much. I am the former executive director of the Gloucester County Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
I'm a small business owner myself. My husband and I have a commercial diving business. But I am here today also as the community engagement and public information coordinator for the county. We work hand in hand. Quentin, who's on the call, myself, we work hand in hand with Sherry and with Elizabeth. And the Resource Council, just to put out public information, make sure everybody understands as we all pivot what resources are out there, what methods are helpful. And so I'm excited to just hear from you and your perspective on the current situation and how we can help our community. Yep,
very good. Quentin.
I'm Quentin Shepard, Public Information and Marketing Coordinator for the county. Let's see, I started in December, and before that I worked for the Gazette Journal local newspaper for 16 years.
Goodness,
so,
okay.
I'm sorry.
So you can gather the information from this and put it out there.
That's right, absolutely.
I think Sherry's in the waiting room, Elizabeth.
Oh, there she is. I don't see her, but
She said she was waiting in the waiting room.
Okay, I've got her out.
There she is.
Can you hear us and see us?
Yes.
Okay. I can't see Sherry, but
I can't either.
I don't know how. Oh, hold on.
Sherry, who are you and what are you doing? How long you been doing it?
Well, this is probably about the 5th time I've seen you in my lifetime, and I'm still the Director of Economic Development for Gloucester.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. Anybody else on there?
Stephanie.
Stephanie. I am Stephanie Otland. I am the office coordinator for Gloucester Housing Partnership. And we're a nonprofit organization, and we do minor home repair for low-income families of the county. And I wanted to be at this meeting just to kind of hear how others are going back into the community, because we have a lot of inside jobs that we put on hold. And I'm just trying to get some idea of how to get the board on board to go help those clients that need inside work done to their homes to make it livable.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get some ideas here. I'm pushing for it. I'm like, all right, we're going in the right direction. And then the numbers keep going up. I'm like, now we got to go back the other way. And people are calling, and I just don't know what to tell them and things like that. So I'm just hoping to get some feedback on how other businesses are handling those type of situations.
Okay, well, I'm an example of someone that has started going back out again. And George Mason has allowed me to do that as our lead center. And, as long as I maintain the 6-foot distancing and wear a mask, they're okay with me going into businesses and talking with them.
Okay.
So I'm an example of someone that's out there doing it, and our advisors are doing it too. are going out. So just maintain the right safety protocols and do what you're supposed to do. I mean, if everyone just did what they're supposed to do, we could cap this thing, but some people don't want to play by the rules. So anyways, is that everybody?
That's everybody here. We've got a couple more who signed up, and I'll just admit them as we go along, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's very good. So I'm going to keep this not long because I think hour-long webinars are boring and people stop listening. So I'm going to give you bullet points that I hope that I've collected from talking to small businesses, restaurants, retailers, and hospitality throughout the country. And I'm just going to share with you what I've started to find out, what works for them. And I'm sharing it with you so that you can share it with your colleagues and help them along. So most of you know me, but I'm a long-term retail and restaurant guy. I was an executive with a bunch of companies. And for the past 11 years now, I've been working with the SBDC as a small business strategist. And that's what I do. And it's been great, and I'm glad I can help, and it gives me purpose. So let's go ahead and go. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
What's your screen say right now?
Now.
Okay, good. That's what it's supposed to say. So here's the first. Now, the first 7 tips are tips they better have done already, or they're way behind the 8 ball. And I'd be surprised if they're still open if they haven't done any of these things. So I'm just going to remind you of 7 things that are absolutely crucial. Number 1, take stock of your business situation. And what I mean by that is I want everyone to know their cash flow break even. How much revenue do you need to do monthly to pay your bills without going into your coffers? Can you maintain your business through revenue and not savings? So, and I told Elizabeth this earlier, I have been out lately and visited a dozen businesses, and I can tell you that over half of them are ahead of last year. So I know it can be done. Now, the one guy that was doing the best of everyone, he had taken over a gas station and already had 30 seats or 40 seats outside. So he was all set to do outdoor dining. So it was kind of made for him, and he's 30% ahead of last year's numbers. I just was amazed, but it can be done. I know it can be done. You know, as I travel the country, I can find somebody in every town that's doing just fine. So I know that it can be done. So cash flow break even. Everybody needs to know that number. And it's critical. You know how critical cash flow is. Second, reach out to the experts. If you need help, reach out to the experts. So the number 1 for me is Virginia SBDC. Their help is at no cost, strictly confidential, and non-judgmental. So I'm not going to say to you, what were you thinking? We're just going to advise you on how to improve your business. So that, economic development, the chamber, Main Street, you know, all the folks that are in town that can help and are there not strictly, but they're there to help. So use them. A SCORE is an organization of retired retail executives that can help. So SCORE is a good one too. So get the help when you need it. Okay. The only way to survive going forward is to be multi-channeled. And what I mean by that is bricks and mortar retail, after years of me telling you that you're about the experience and that it's about, you know, giving the customer a great experience and that we're about entertainment and recreation and all those things, I'm now telling you, you have to be online too. It's not optional. So update your website. You've had time, you've had 5 months now to improve your website, and it should have been improved by now. Now, there's one thing I'd like everyone to put on the homepage of their website. It's a 30-second video. And I've been espousing this now for years. It's your elevator speech. What do you do? Who are you? What do you do? Where you're located? But most importantly, people forget this in their elevator speech. Why the customer should care. What do you do that's different from everybody else that the customer will experience from shopping with you in your store or online or dining with you or picking it up at the curb? It's differentiation. What do you do different? And I want to tell you a word I came up with a couple years ago, and I use it a lot these days. It's co-opetition, not competition. Towns should cooperate with each other. The businesses should do things together. They should promote together. All boats rise with the tide. The better the town does, the better the individual businesses will do. So work together. It's about community. I end this message with, it's about the community. And people know that. And the shop local move alive and well. So let's take advantage of that. So the first part of your 30, and it's 30 seconds because that's the extension span of an adult. So you got 30 seconds for your update, for your elevator speech. But now there's another piece you have to add to it. I want you to tell the customer what to expect when they get to your location. So in this 30-second video, you need to tell them what you've done to make your store safe and clean, because customers will shun stores that they don't see as clean or safe. So this is what I've done. This is what we do. This is how important it is. This is how important it is. Our first and foremost is to let our customers shop in safety and clean environments. So no one should show up at your doorstep and be in line and not know that there was going to be a line. They should know. They should know they have to wear a mask to come in your store. They should know that you practice 6-foot distancing. So put that all in the video and let them know right up front. If you don't have an e-commerce website, you ought to take the 80-20 rule is 20% of your inventory produces 80% of your revenue. So if you don't have a website yet, get pictures of your top 20%, post them on your site, and just tell your customer to call you to order it. And take a phone order and ship it to them. Or take a phone order and have them come pick it up outside. But get started now. Don't wait to add an e-commerce platform. But most of you have, and most of you should have, and that's the next point. You should be e-commerce. You should have a shopping cart on your site. Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, Lightspeed. There's tons of companies that will help you be e-commerce and have a shopping cart and have them the ability to pay online. So that's another thing that should have been done by now. But if it hasn't, reach out to the platforms that everybody's using and get online. And next, make sure you can take online payments through PayPal, through Apple Pay, through Square, through, what's the name of the, I can't think of it right now. Clover. Clover's another great one. So Clover's a good one too. And there's Aloha for restaurants. It's very good as well. So pick a contactless payment procedure and adopt it immediately. And lastly, get in the shipping business. If you're going to be online, you need to be ready to ship. So create a little shipping area that's efficient. Pick a carrier if you haven't yet. Get the supplies in boxes, bubble paper, tape, labels, scales, and put a coupon in there that's an offer for the future. And put a thank you note in there. Thank them for shopping with you. Okay? And lastly, if you don't know how to sell on social media, you better learn how, because everybody's doing it. So learn how to sell on Instagram and Facebook, because I know too many companies that have doubled their volume based on how they use their social media to promote products. Mm-hmm. You know, the one I talk about is in the days where I had bricks and mortar store, the store always got busy when I was unboxing a shipment. So what I want you to do now is take a Zoom video of you and your colleagues opening the boxes, and you will get people online looking at you. Show them the new stuff. They want to be the first. So people love to watch you unpack the boxes. So today, just Zoom video it. Or Facebook Live. Did you know that Facebook Live goes to 100% of your followers? Do you know that a regular post only goes to 2%? No. So you got to boost a post if you want it to go to anybody. But if you use Facebook Live, every single follower gets a notice that you're Facebook Live right now. So it gets to 100% of your followers, not 2%. Are there any questions about these 8 things that should already be happening? No? All right, let's move on to next. What does the new normal look like? Re-enter your business should be personalized to your culture, your employees, and the size and type of your business. Transparency and constant communication will be key. So it's just as important to communicate with your employees that may not be working in the store, but doing something for you at home. It's important that you communicate with them often and let them know what's going on, and to your good customers. There's nothing more valuable to you right now than your loyal group of customers that over the years has helped you pay your bills. So that's a 80-20 rule too. 20% of your customers produce 80% of your revenue. So you should have written a personalized email to each one of those top customers, thanking them for their business, thanking them for being understanding and helping you navigate this crisis, and giving you feedback. There's nothing wrong with you asking your best customers what they want right now. You know, you could even do a survey monkey survey with your best customers on what they're looking for today out of a store, and use their ideas. So phase 2, you know, I think, Elizabeth, you said earlier phase 1 and phase 2. It should have said phase 2 and phase 3.
Okay.
Because we are past phase 1. We're in phase 2. We almost got to phase 3. And Governor Northam has pulled us back into phase 2. But, you know, no one should be running a temperature. Everybody should be wearing masks. Everyone should wash their hands and use hand sanitizer all day long. 50% of your occupancy on your certificate of occupancy is the number today. Assist your customers in being 6 feet apart, and you ought to clean all day long. You ought to be wiping down the counter and the handles to the front door, and, you know, clean the front door if it's glass. Clean it several times throughout the day. Nothing worse than walking up to a a door of a store or a restaurant and have it be smudged and fingerprints all over. It just doesn't say clean. It just, there's Kentucky is one of the few states that I know does this, but in Kentucky, their health report, their kitchen report from the health department has to be displayed in their window in the state of Kentucky. So you know what their score was. And you're probably going to eat in a restaurant got 100% over a restaurant that got, 50.
Mhm.
You know how you figure out whether you eat in a restaurant or not? Go to their bathroom. If the bathroom's clean, the kitchen's probably clean.
Mhm.
If the bathroom's not clean, I wouldn't count on the kitchen being clean. Okay, so use the bathroom. It's the first place to go. You usually have to go anyway. Encourage, there's lots of stores that have a sign in their window now. You must wear a mask. And if you don't have one, I'll give you one. My wife works for a big retailer, Crate and Barrel, and they're doing all these curbside pickups, and they're letting customers in the store. But if they don't have their mask, the first thing she asks them, "Oh, you must have forgotten your mask. Here's one. Just put this on." So there's a good way to do it and a bad way to do it, and, in the South, because all of their county that I was in has only had one fatality due to COVID. So these folks down there, they don't think it's real. They don't take it seriously. And there's people all over the place not wearing masks. I find it hard to believe, but it's happening. Provide options for home delivery, in-store, and curbside pickup. A reservation system. Some folks are taking a couple hours of each day and doing shopping by appointment. So from noon to 2 or 2 to 4, you sign up and you get your own half an hour in the store by yourself. Shopping by appointment. I think it's brilliant. But you gotta announce that on social media and your website that there's a couple hours where you're shopping by appointment, so you're not open to the general public. But what a safe way to shop. And don't you think the customer feels special when they get everybody's attention and have the store to themselves? Employees should, pretty much stay behind the counter if you put up, plexiglass between you and the customer, but they have a 6-foot rule too. Employees should be 6 feet apart. They shouldn't be hugging or shaking hands or anything with each other. And then contactless pay procedure, which we've already talked about. And then if we're lucky, someday we will move into full phase 3, which allows social gatherings up to 250 people, takes the capacity limit off restaurants, museums, zoos, and outdoor venues. Gyms can reopen at 75%, swimming pools at 75%. So hopefully there'll be a day we get to phase 3, but in the meantime, we got to go with the protocols of safety and cleanliness in phase 2. So what are some new things that stores and restaurants could be doing right now that would help them pivot? That's the buzzword these days, is pivot. And I think a lot of people, a lot of store owners don't know what that means. I sell dog treats. I'm not going to start selling sundresses. So what do you mean by pivot? What do you mean by new? And it's this simple to me. Figure out what you need to stop doing that doesn't work anymore. Figure out what you should be doing that's working, or figure out what works. And then going forward, figure out what you need to be doing differently that's new that would improve your business. And that number one for me is having a efficient and successful online presence so that folks can shop with you online. Consumers are simply not thinking the way they did 5 months ago. Customer traffic probably going forward will always be less than it was in the past because there are many options. We're purposely giving the customer omni-channel options to shop. And customers will stop shopping or won't even go in a store that doesn't look clean and safe. I met with a group of students that's working for the state of Maryland on a project that they did for the state of Maryland on things that merchants and retail and restaurants could be doing to improve their business. And they came up with this idea, and I think it's a great one. What if each store had a checklist of things they've done to be safe and clean? And we probably should help them with the checklist. We probably should come up with, half a dozen or a dozen things that every store should have done to make their environment clean and safe. And then you post the checklist on the window of all the things you've done to make your business safe. I think it's a great idea. It's close to the idea in Kentucky of posting their health certificate from the health department when they inspect their kitchen. Continue to communicate with your employees and customers. We talked about that. Post daily, if not more, on social media. The real social media people are on there, often on there all day. And don't think you're spamming your customers because they don't get most of your posts unless you've boosted them. By the way, I believe boosting posts on Facebook is the best marketing money you can spend. Because you know what boosting does? Not only does it get to your current followers, but it helps you select new people based on your parameters. In fact, let me correct myself. I think Facebook ads are better than boosting because Facebook ads lets you put more parameters on your search. It lets you pick a zip code. It lets you pick, I want females that are over 30 that make at least 50 grand. You can put parameters of like that onto your Facebook ad. And what they do is, this is what they do. This is how brilliant it is. They run an algorithm on your current followers and they figure out what they have in common. And when they go to the zip code you've asked to boost your post to, they run the same algorithm and they find people closest to the people that already like you. There's no marketing more targeted than that. There's nothing out there that's more targeted. Shopping appointments one at a time, just talked about that. Ramp up your email marketing. Here's the 9-word email. And it's this. You know those sandals you looked at? Are you still interested? It's 9 words checking back in with a customer that was on your site, that looked at something specific and didn't buy it. I get it all the time. I bet you get it from Amazon. Are you still interested in what you looked at? Right? Don't you get those? And then it's spooky and creepy, but they start sending you ads for the stuff you looked at. Big Brother is watching. So lastly, collaborate with other stores in town. Do some stuff together. And one of my favorite promotions right now that towns are doing are town bucks or gift certificates that are subsidized by the town. So the customer gets a gift certificate for $100, but the town subsidizes 25% of that. So you get 100% of the gift certificate, but the customer buys it at 25 off.
We're doing the exact same thing right now.
Beautiful.
I've been doing it.
You've already in June, you did town bucks, right?
We did gift certificates.
Okay.
And then, the Main Street did another program where some people had donated like $20,000 and they bought $100 gift cards and gave it to all the nurses and doctors at Riverside Hospital so they could go and shop on Main Street.
Yeah.
So there was 2 different programs going on, but the gift certificate program has been extremely successful. It's the same 25%. If you buy $100, you get $125.
Beautiful.
And so no, it's been great. It's been great.
Gary, do you have a bird in your house?
Yes.
I heard this.
They're 2 lovebirds, and they're real. Most of the time, they're pretty quiet until I get on a Zoom, and then they want to get in with the conversation.
Of course they do. And my dog, my Jack Russell, wants to be in my lap whenever I'm on the phone. So promote together. Cooperation, coopetition, that kind of thing. Okay, so some towns have done some kind of contest that's a raffle that people sign up for, and they win a 2-day visit to your town with gift certificates or town bucks, and they stay in the local hotel. So it's a contest for a 2-day shopping spree in your town. What a great thing to talk about on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Also create downloadable coupons or codes that your customers can use online. It's easy to do to create a downloadable coupon, or give them a code that they can put in for a discount or some special based on them having the secret code that you've given them. Do you know what a subscription model is? They're very, very popular today. A subscription model means you create a box of product that you send your good customers that sign up for it, a box a month. I visited a florist that had a flower bar where you could come in and create your own bouquets. And because of COVID, she had to stop the bar because you can't have everybody touching all the flowers and other people coming in after them and touching the same flowers. So she had to stop that. But what she did instead is once a month, she'll make a bouquet for you and you pick it up at her store, or she'll deliver it to you. You've seen Stitch Fix or Bespoke. These are subscription models for clothing. You fill out an evaluation before it starts of your taste and what kind of clothes you like, and then they ship you a box of clothes. You keep what you want and pay for it and send back what you don't want. It's a good model. And you're going to see subscription models going forward, because who doesn't like recurring revenue? You know what Warren Buffett says? If you're not making money while you're sleeping, you're never going to be wealthy. You got to have, and you know what else he says? Everyone has to have a side hustle. Everyone needs 2 streams of income to really make it today. So figure out something you can do online, or figure out something else. Start collecting, Air Jordan sneakers and resell them for 5 times what you bought them for. There's a side hustle. BOGO, you know what that is? Buy one, get one. Or buy one, get one half off. BOGO. People, you know what the American remembers? Half off or free. They don't realize they're paying full price for the first one. So their discount really is 25% each item. But what they see is half off, and no one doesn't like. In fact, because of it was closer to depressing. Because of the recession in 2008, Americans got spoiled. They don't think they're getting a deal till it's half off. They don't. They don't think they're getting a deal till it's half off. And the only way to do that and survive is to do it with BOGO. Buy one, get one. Celebrate customer month. It doesn't have to be a customer that's come in the store. Your best customer may be an online customer that has bought lots of stuff online. Celebrate the customer of the month. You could do Survey Monkey and survey your customers for incentives. Find out what the customer wants. Find out what they prefer. The best stores over time are the ones that have listened to their customers and morphed their business based on current trends. The most successful people know the trend, know how long to ride it, and move on to the next trend when that one's over. You've got to morph your business with the times. And then birthdays and anniversaries, everybody knows that data is important today. And your ability to track what your good customers like is service. It's a service you offer so that you're on the outlook, or you're always on the look for things that they would like. And there's nothing wrong with calling a good customer and saying, you know that black dress that you looked at before? Well, we got a new one in today that has your name on it. I'm going to put one aside for you to come take a look at, or have me put it on Zoom for you and take a look. So do things that you might not have done in the past. So I've told you about, the 9-word email. Are you still interested in the sandals you recently looked at? And you ought to online do exactly what Amazon does. You need to show a couple pictures of products that people that bought what this customer's interested in also bought. Amazon does it all the time. You ought to be doing it on your website. Oh, the people that bought that black dress also bought these shoes and this belt. So write more, publish more, embrace video across your whole team, encourage Facebook Live, encourage Zooms, optimize your website for what your buyers and customers want and need. And don't forget these tips. All the marketing you've done in the past that showed crowds in your stores and people shaking hands and people hugging. Take those pictures down. I'd rather you have 2 people in your store with masks on in your promotions than a crowd. So take down the things that promote things that we don't want happening today. So avoid using visuals that show crowds and people touching. Think about service instead of selling. No one wants a hard sale right now. In fact, I like the next line even better. We get it. If you're not ready to come and shop, we understand. How about I bring it out to your car? How about I ship it to you? How about I deliver it to you? So determine what to stop doing, continue to do, and start doing. That's a lot of ground I just covered with a lot of things. And I pride myself in teaching things that people can do and implement and improve their business. And I've given you a bunch of stuff to do just that. Elizabeth, does anyone have any questions?
I'd like to make a comment. Mark, this is a wealth of information. We really do appreciate you taking the time to share it with us today.
Yeah.
And just like all the presentations that you've done in Gloucester in the 5 years that I've been here, you're a wealth of information, your experience, your knowledge, and the tips and things that you always bring to us. People always leave these meetings, and unfortunately we couldn't be there right in front of you in the same room today. But everybody just goes on and boasts about, how important it is to have you come in and share these things with us. And this is an excellent presentation, just like everyone that you've ever done in the past that I've been involved with.
Well, I appreciate that feedback. It's my purpose in life today is to give back and help small businesses. And 5 months ago, we were hit with a a crisis that I don't know. It could last 2 years. We don't know. But I'm glad I can help, and I'm glad you guys appreciate the knowledge I try to give you, and appreciate it. And I'll come in person if you want me to, maybe down the road.
Okay, well, we'd love that. We always get excited and appreciate you coming to pay us a visit.
Well, I think we create a buzz when we do that.
I think you do too.
I think people leave and are energized.
Exactly.
So, any questions about what I covered? Anything I didn't cover that you want to talk about? You know, there is the, what's the grant that starts today in Virginia?
That's a rebuild grant that started.
Rebuild Virginia, right.
It started
That
on
starts
Monday.
today, doesn't it?
Started on Monday.
It started on Monday?
Yes, sir.
Did you all have people apply?
Well, we've posted it, and we've also referred a few people to Jim.
Okay.
Just for verification on some things, because it was my understanding that those programs, or that program in particular, is going to be run through the Small Business Development Center.
Yes, and when it comes to the financial piece, the PPP or the EIDL or forgiveness and this new grant, I recommend you go straight to your SBDC advisor, because they're far more listen, go with the skill set you have. And I know operations, but I'm not the finance and grant guy.
Well, I can tell you
Go
that
straight to Jim.
Jim Carroll has earned his money over and over and over again in the last 5 months. We probably, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm sure that we have 200, somewhere between 250 and 350 emails that he has sent us over the last 5 months, that Elizabeth has just been working tirelessly posting it on eBlast and our website to give people as many resources. And I just can't thank him enough, and you all and the whole team for just, being on the front line and providing us the information that we needed to pass on to our businesses. It's been a tremendous help.
Well, great. That's what we're here for.
And Mark, I'd like to say just, some of the things you were talking about today, I'm thinking of 2 right now. I don't even have a business, but that we can incorporate, getting the word out. So this has really been helpful for me. So I'm taking notes like crazy. I'm going to look at this recording as well. But, it's, like I say, I see 2 things that I want to start doing, from this webinar. So thank you so much.
Awesome. You know what gets me angry is when I come back to a town like 6 months later and people haven't done what I told them to do. I'm like, what? I can bring a horse to water. I can't make you drink.
That's true.
So
this has been fantastic.
Anyway, this has been fun.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. And
oh, you're so welcome.
I'll send you this recording, and we're going to go ahead and put it up as well, so for the people who couldn't make it, so they can benefit from your expertise.
Would you mind if we post it on the Lead Centers or our YouTube account?
No, that's
for the SBDC.
That's good, right?
Okay, we'll do that too.
Okay, that's great.
Okie doke, everyone, stay well and have a great week.
You too.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful, as always.
Bye.
Bye.